Hello everybody. Today I am doing a layout featuring my two cats, and I'll tell you about a little bit more about them and the funny title once I get to maybe the title or something. Anyway, I'm using a paper here. The bokeh background is from Photoplay, Like a Girl, and the paper is called Shine Bright. And I absolutely loved it, and it worked really well with a couple of other papers I have. Now, the interesting thing is I wanted a mat for these photos, and I'm going to use this aqua dot paper from Amy Tangerine. Yes, please. It's called Priority, and I'm very proud of myself because this paper is from 2012, so it needed to be used up. It was a priority to get it used up, and so I finally am going to do that. This layout is actually a lift of a layout from Shamel Lane's The 20 Project class, which I'm taking right now. I'm not doing a lot of the layouts, but I am watching videos and, you know, filing ideas away. But this is one thing that I echoed. I didn't do whatever the particular prompt was, but I did love her layout, so I used that. I really did almost a complete direct lift. Now I'm not going to show it to you, however, because it is a paid class. So I'm playing around a little bit. I thought about that banner paper from Photoplay because there's a block underneath it, and I really liked the banner paper, but with the lift of the layout, there's journaling on the paper directly, and I wasn't sure that I was going to like journaling. Well, I knew I wasn't going to like journaling on the banner paper, so just kind of trying to figure out that out. I thought about the stripe that was on that Photoplay paper that actually matches the bokeh background exactly, but I liked this Elle Studio paper here as well. That is from the Little Moments collection, and it's called Highlights is the name of it. I'm toying around with maybe using that journaling card there to journal on. So putting that journaling card perhaps on the background of the, or putting it on top of the background there. But in the end, I decided not to do it. And then the other thing I did is I did like those journaling cards on the bottom. So when I cut this stripe paper, I was careful about how I cut it so I could keep at least some of those intact. So the bottom row of the journaling cards that's on the back of this paper, you'll see, I'll be able to use. Again, it's from Elle Studio Little Moments, and it's called Highlights. And if you're paying careful attention here, and see, here's where I'm trying to use this journaling card, thinking about it. If you're paying attention, I just used 3 different manufacturers' paper. So the background is from Photoplay, the matted photo mat paper there is Amy Tangerine, and the stripe paper is Elle Studio. I'm going to break from that for just a second. When I was looking at that highlights paper, to cut the other journaling card, I saw this red journaling card, and it has the days of the week on it, which is works really well with what this kind of the theme of what this layout is going to be. So I decided to use that instead of the other journaling card. The reason those 3 papers work together is they have some commonality, and the stripe paper pulls them together. So the pinky background of the bokeh paper is found in the stripe paper, and then the aqua is found in the stripe paper. So it pulls all of that together, and that's why it works. So keep that in mind. I love using stripes when I'm using multiple manufacturers, or even when I'm just using one manufacturer, because it helps you, it does the coordination for you. Now, what I'm doing right now is I like that little card from Elle Studio, that little floral journaling card. It's from Serendipity Tiny Tags. And what I'm thinking about doing right now is cutting out that, I was thinking about cutting out those flowers, but as I'm looking at this cluster, and I just added that wood veneer there, I actually think, oh, I think I'm going to use the whole tag. So, which is pretty cool. Sometimes you have happy accidents like that. It's a right now, there's a right now wood veneer there, and then the wood veneer that says today. Those are from Elle Studio, just a wood veneer pack that they had on sale. I grabbed that little floral journaling card there as well. If you see that on the right, that is from Elle Studio Little Moments Highlights, and it's a piece, the highlights paper. It's a piece that was cut out from a journaling block in that paper. I'd used the other part of it on something else and then just kept that. The large heart there is from Elle Studio Little Moments wood veneers as well. So it's from the same wood veneers that the two wood labels are from. So I'm playing around with this vellum from the Bits and Pieces from I think it's it's the Little Moments Bits and Pieces. Looking at that, I'm playing with maybe using that, but it's just not working. That Life is Good label is from an Elle Studio. It's from a cut apart sheet of labels, but it was just kind of tossed into another pack. It's older, and so I'm not sure what that's from. I know it's not from Little Moments for sure. So now I'm kind of playing around. I really love this alphabet, and I'm going to struggle with it because I really want to use it, but it's not the right size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this alphabet, which is from American Crafts, the Thickers. It's called Stylist, and it's in the charcoal gray color, but this is going to cause me fits because it just, the size isn't feeling right to me on this with this layout. So I'm going to struggle a little bit. I'm going to look at doing black, and that's not going to, I don't have enough, I think I don't have enough letters, or I don't like it's just too stark. If you look at that, all you see is the alphabet. You're not seeing the layout itself when you look at that. It's calling way too much attention to itself. So I'm going to go back and think, okay, well, maybe if I put some black on this in other places, I can use this Hipster. This is Hipster, which came from one of the Schmel collections. And do that, and make the way I'm going to make it take up some more space is just say, call it 2016 Cat TV, and I'm going to abandon that as well too. So on a brighter note, nicer note, the story behind this layout is I live in a condo with a raised deck, and right behind our raised deck is a tree line, and there's bird feeders right there. So I have two cats. Their names are Linus and Lucy, and I did not name them, but boy, does it fit their personalities. Anyway, they love to watch the birds. It's sitting on that deck, and then they growl at them, and they watch them all day long. So my mom started calling it Cat TV. And so that has stuck. When they're sitting there, they are watching Cat TV. And it's hours of amusement for us. What I did there is, in the original layout, there was some paper, I believe, at the top, or maybe it was washi tape, whatever. Anyway, I grabbed a Bella Boulevard chevron washi tape to bring that yellow color in. It's a little bit different, something a little bit different. And then I'll take pieces of that and put it in the other two clusters as well. It gives direction to the layout, and I really just like that it brought in the yellow from the layout, or from the striped paper, I should say. The other funny thing about Cat TV is sometimes the cats will sit on the floor looking right at the deck, and sometimes they'll sit on one of the couches that you can sit at, and they're each doing one of those things. The cat in the right, who is my male cat Linus, and then is on the floor, and then the cat on the left is Lucy, who is on the sofa. And then not only did my mom make me laugh with that, but then she started calling the couch box seat. So when one of the cats is doing it sitting at the top, we call that sitting in the box seats for Cat TV. So just that, it may be silly, but it's funny and it's amusing. It just amuses us. All right, so one of the things I did there is I grabbed that vellum pinked circle, and that came from the Little Moments Bits and Pieces, and I'm going to tuck that under, after much moving around of the element, I'm going to tuck that under the other pieces in that cluster. And I'm having a hard time because every time I put the washi tape down, it goes down crooked, and it's driving me a little bit crazy trying to get this all done. So you'll see me struggle with this a little bit. And I finally just decided to glue down the vellum. and hope that it would be covered by the other elements, which it is not. So I'll have to pull that glue off. But I use my ATG. It's really easy to rub the ATG off. And there's where I decided, okay, I like this, but I need to rub it off. And that's what I did there. All right, and I'm just using my ATG to put these wood veneers down. It's a pretty strong adhesive. I actually have better luck with it almost than I do using my Scotch Quick Dry for the wood veneers. Sometimes they'll, if they're too small, they'll pop off if I use that versus my ATG. And now I'm going to work with this cluster to the left, which has that little journaling card from the highlights paper, the portion of it, and the wood veneer. And I want to put the tape in there, so I didn't glue everything completely down there until I had that decided. And it just won't, I'm having a hard time getting the tape straight there. I like where that heart is, so we're going to pop that on. And that gives the layout some nice dimension. A little bit of a different texture and some nice dimension. I love how that floral card ended up working up. It's just so fun when those happy accidents occur. And now the Life is Good label is going to go back down up there. I know I need something else up there, so I grabbed my little box of wood veneers, and I'm going to find a Studio Calico small wood heart to go up there. The ones in the L Studio packs are pretty little, but in the meantime I'm looking at, I think these wood veneers are from Chic Tags, and they had some nice sentiments that would have gone on the layout, but it was too late. I really needed small elements. Now I didn't need anything bigger. All right, and while I'm doing this, I'm still struggling with my title. I told you what's going to happen in the end, but that's why that hipster alphabet is still laying down there. I don't like it, but I'm not happy with any of the other choices that I have. So I'm just thinking about that as I'm doing everything else that I know I need to do. So I decided, okay, I really need to do this stylist alphabet in the charcoal gray. And just get over it. You know, Lane Amon says better done than none. So that's kind of where I had to go eventually with this layout. And I'm having a hard time because I'm not loving this. It's spacing. In the original layout, there was some journaling there mixed in with the title, which I don't have on mine because the journaling is going to go on that block there. So I think I'm struggling a little bit about how that does it. Sometimes when you lift a layout, it's fine and no big deal. And sometimes I struggle if, you know, I don't have the elements exactly the same. I do find these asterisks from the stylist layout, or stylist alphabet. And I put them in these spots here, trying to just kind of, you know, figure out what to do. And I've only got 2 on there now. The one on the left was way too much. In that cluster because it was too big. The main part of this layout is fairly light and feeling and whimsical, and those asterisks were really just bothering me. So I'm gonna, I think I do this on camera where I'm gonna put an asterisk with the title, and that'll help take up some of the space. But when I really look at it after I'm all done, I really don't like that, and I will eventually pull those off of the layout completely. So in the still shots, they will not be on there because I've pulled them off. Sometimes that happens when you're off camera. Things just make a little bit more sense. Not always, though. Just, I love this layout overall. I just struggled with the title. You think I'd have, with all the alphabets I have, you think I'd find one that works. So there's where I'm putting the asterisks on. And now that I'm looking at this, I'm really, really glad I took it off. It was just, the weight of the color was just too much, and they weren't whimsical enough. So coming up is the still shot and a couple of detail shots. Hope you are all well. Take care. Bye.